Let's get straight into the first quickfire of the day. Building collapse in Lagos State. 14 persons rescued from under rubble in Lekki Phase One. The building collapsed at Oriwu Street in Lekki Phase One area of Lagos State, and it trapped several people under the rubble. And according to the spokesperson of the permanent secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olufemi Oke Osonyi Yotolu, the incident happened at about 4 p.m. And he added that 14 persons had been rescued from the rubble and taken to the hospital for medical attention. Now, this happens quite a lot in Lagos State. What exactly is the problem? What do you think?
When did this happen?
This happened today. And it happens a lot. So there's definitely something that needs to be done in terms of building codes and, you know, the processes. And
I think Lagos State has one of the strictest building codes.
I'm sorry, but God bless you. I was just about to say to you that Lagos State is one of the most amazing when it comes to the strict conditionalities when it comes to building in Nigeria.
Okay.
So I'm not going to sit here and tell you that Lagos State has the government.
But don't you think somehow some people take the back door? Because if this is happening, then see, somewhere, somehow, somebody isn't doing the right thing.
My brother, if you have a basket of eggs right now, it's not possible that all of them will be good.
The same,
you still have bad eggs.
Do you
understand what I'm saying? Yeah. It's the bad eggs that corrupts the good ones, right? Now, if you notice, right, there was a time where we used to have like almost this, you know, we're having this building collapse almost every week. Sometime, maybe it was last year or last 2 years or thereabout. But it stopped after a while because I think people started to get the message. Because I think you know that once your building collapses, the government takes over that land. Did you know that?
Oh,
you know that? You don't know?
They revoked the land.
You didn't know that?
No, I had no idea.
Nice.
Oh, so you can't. I mean, the government will take over that land. I mean, I don't know if it's permanently, but I mean, for a while, you'll not be able to do anything on that land. Because you can't continue to endanger. See, let me be honest with you. This goes to just show that people just need to take life seriously. We need to appreciate life. If you don't value life, you will use substandard products. You will use substandard building materials to build. At the end of the day, lives are lost. So to what end?
So let's say the government is doing everything as it should be done, and you know the process is done the right way. Do we hold the owners of the business, of the buildings, and the construction companies,
can I say something?
And all of that? Because somebody needs to be held accountable.
I agree. Okay, so it's one thing for me as the government to say, okay, I have approved for you to build this. Did you know that they approve certain buildings for people and people go and build something else? Yep. Did you know that?
Yeah.
What I would advise the government to do is this. And this is for the sake of life and properties, right? Every 5 to 10 years, the government should conduct structural integrity tests on buildings.
They should, or they do that already.
Now, I'm not saying that. I don't know if they do that, and I don't know how often they do that, right?
Okay.
But I feel like, especially buildings that are more than maybe 2-story buildings, you should conduct structural integrity tests just to be sure that that building can sustain weight and it can stand the test of time.
Especially when you're building on island areas. We saw the
with
collapse
sand-filled and what have you.
Exactly, from sand-filling areas as well. We're in a sand-filled environment ourselves now, but we believe this structure that we're in,
because we know how much went into sand-filling here, and we know how they did, because there was a documentary on how they sand-filled Eco-Atlantic. All right, so it's important to understand that. You see, one of the things I've realized whenever you travel outside of the country, Femi, you know what I'm talking about, is they don't
no visa.
I'm sorry. So my point is, I'm so sorry, but my
I'm
point
going to call you that.
so sorry. My point is that one thing I realize is the fact that they don't joke around with quality,
integrity
of anything. See here, in London, what I have noticed in London is they have very old buildings. I don't think if they use substandard building materials, it will stand the test of time. All they do is they repaint, they rescreed, that's it. They tell you that this building is 100 years old. My brother, you get into the building, the building will be vibrating. They'll tell you, yes, the springs are still working. I say, spring, okay. I'm coming from somewhere. Do you understand what it? But the point is that things are done properly. If we do things properly in Nigeria, things will get better. That's for me. I mean, that's just what it is.
Okay, so Rich Uncle, what's your take on this?
I think people just create problems for the government because regarding building code, Lagos State is very strict.
I agree.
Very, very.
I agree.
If you knock down the fence of your house and you try to erect another one tomorrow, they will mark it. Like they are that efficient. So it does pain me that it's in Lagos that you see these things happening. Because the government is trying.
Yeah.
Like they are trying. But of course, you can't. I mean, there's no police force in the world that's 100% efficient, right?
True.
And I think that people should just basically stop creating problems for the government, because at the end of the day, who do we all look up to? Government.
And
Like,
cutting corners so that we can
yeah.
make a few cheese, just a few bucks.
and then we should also understand that human lives matter, because
Absolutely.
imagine that this building didn't collapse during the construction stage and people had moved in and all of that, and then it did eventually collapse. Like,
Oh, people were trapped in it?
Oh yeah, people were
no,
trapped
what
in
I'm
it.
saying is still, is it under construction or?
No.
It's under construction.
No,
So imagine-
So
so
people
imagine
were under.
So a lot of
imagine
people were
that
trapped
most
in
of
it.
the
Trapped
work
under the building.
is under construction.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So imagine that construction had finished and
And then
people were
there were people
living
living
in
in
there.
it.
Yeah.
Like,
Rich
come
Uncle,
on
real
now.
quick, let me just let you know that a lot of the people that were under that were rescued were laborers working in the building.
Yeah.
So far, I think they can confirm about 2 casualties.
Yeah.
But other people have been rushed to hospital. Some are critical, some are not, but they can confirm at least 2 casualties in this whole of. So the laborers also are the ones that were affected by this. I also feel that certain people need to be held accountable, especially when loss of life comes into play as well.
Yeah.
Do you understand? In terms of
I mean, that's-
compensation of families and so many other things.
That's why there's a structural engineer now, for God. I mean.